Hi, my name is Allysya and I studied LLB in UKM. I just finished my chambering and this is Lepas Sekolah.
Allysya, have you always wanted to pursue law when you were a kid, and what was the inspiration behind it?
No, actually I wanted to be a vet when I was small because I have an interest in animal. But however, I didn't do as good in my SPM results, so I had to change my direction. I was inspired by my mother because she was a lawyer and I wanted to be like her.
Which secondary school did you attend?
I attended a normal daily school at Shah Alam, SMK Section 9.
Some people choose to go to boarding school after they are done with their UPSR.
Uh-huh.
Was that ever a consideration for you?
Actually, no, because my older sister, she went to a boarding school, all girls school actually, and I've seen her being bullied, so it wasn't my first choice to go into boarding school, and I'm comfortable in daily school.
Did you choose to do the science stream or art stream for SPM?
I chose science stream because I wanted to be a vet initially, and I wasn't really very artsy in myself, and I couldn't do maths. I'm so bad at maths, so I chose science because I love biology.
What was the most challenging aspect of your secondary school heading up to SPM?
It was at maths, honestly. I did very bad in at maths. I wish I could drop.
What did you do for your pre-university and where?
I did a foundation in law in MSU
Why did you choose to do foundation instead of anything else?
because after my SPM results, I decided not to pursue in veterinary and I wanted to become a lawyer. So, considering all the private unis and local unis, actually, I didn't get UPU for my after SPM. I didn't get UPU. I was a bit sad because I couldn't go in any local uni because it was easier. So I decided to venture into private uni and decided to get in MSU because of the location. It's quite near my home and the fees are not really that expensive.
What was the application process like for MSU?
They don't really have an interview, so you just have to pay the upfront fee and attend the lectures as usual. Not much actually.
All right. Did you feel that SPM prepared you for pre-university and in your case foundation?
Not at all because we never really learned law in SPM. So it was very new to me, to myself. But thankfully, I managed to pull through with reading materials. My kind lecturers they are very kind enough to explain to us.
Allysya, what was your aim going into the foundation course at MSU?
Well, I decided to pursue law degree. So foundation is the most shortest way to continue my degree. It's a 1 year program actually. I mean, comparing it to any diplomas that took 2 years plus, foundation is the direct way to continue the degree.
In that 1 year you were doing your foundation at MSU, are there any particular memories you're fond of?
I made friends, nice friends. I mean, during my time, I couldn't finish the 1 year foundation in law because COVID hit. But till now, I still talk to my friends. We still catch up at times. I would say some of them are my closest friends.
After your foundation in law at MSU, where do you pursue your law degree?
I did my law degree in UKM, University Kebangsaan Malaysia,
Why did you choose to do law at UKM as opposed to staying at MSU?
because at that time, MSU only offered Bachelor in Law and Commerce and not LLB. So that wasn't my direction. So I had to go out from MSU and pick a university that offers LLB. But I also didn't get UPU after my foundation, and I was so sad because I couldn't continue in local uni. However, I stumbled upon news regarding UKM's private wing actually. So I took a step and made my application and I got in UKM. UKM is exempted from doing CLP and bar. So if I get into public uni, I don't have to do my CLP. So if I get into private uni, I have to do CLP or my bar and then continue with chambering. So UCAM is I would say, more shortest way lah. Or MMU. MMU also is exempted from NCLP actually. So those are the two universities that I considered before continuing.
What is the minimum requirement to secure a place at UKM?
Based on the website, I think the minimum CGPA was 3.3, and you have to be at least band 4 in your MWeb, and you have to excel interview.
Allysya, what was the application process like for UKM?
But during my time, it was COVID, so I did have an interview, but it was online, not talking with person. I just have to submit a video, English and BM. They give us regarding legal issue, both English and BM, so I have to answer in both language.
While you were studying at UKM, what was the structure of the law degree?
The most interesting structure in UKM that I find is very good for law students is that the lectures are in Malay, Melayu, the tutorials are in English, so you have to do questions and presentations in English, and in exams you have to do both. You have to do a mandatory BM question in English, answered BM in English in one paper. So can you imagine at that time you have to tiba-tiba switch up when you dah answer all in BM, dah focus BM language vocab. Tiba-tiba you have to switch in English or vice versa actually. I think that is very challenging at first because you have to auto switch everything. And I think that is the most interesting structure. It's a good thing because in practice, in lower courts, you have to speak in Malay, cakap dalam BM, and higher courts baru in English lah.
What was your favorite module?
During my degree,
Yeah.
I would say evidence law because to many it's very dry and not interesting, but to me, I find it interesting because of my lecturer, Dr. Rama. The way he teach us is so easy to understand, and Alhamdulillah, I aced my papers.
What is a common misconception non-law students have of law students?
The top two that I can think of is law students, they like to argue, and law students always memorize stuff.
Do you think that's not true?
Partly, I mean, it's not entirely true.
What was the most difficult aspect of a law degree?
Your critical thinking, actually, the way you apply your laws in real situations.
So Allysya, walk us through how you prepared for your classes and your tips to doing well.
Okay. First of all, don't be like me, but I'll be honest here. How I prepare myself for classes is actually I don't. I don't really take notes before my class because I'm the type of person who listens to lectures first, and then after baru I really sit down over the weekends or after class I go library and make my own notes. Study earlier.
Study earlier?
Yeah, study earlier. Make yourself busy with studying 2 weeks before or a month before actually, because you cannot really hafal all the cases overnight tau.
Yeah.
So what I actually do, I mean, I don't know if it's a good tips, but what I did was I don't really memorize a lot of cases. I memorize few cases, but with the cases that has different legal issues. So with that, I can use the same case law with different kind of situations.
Were you allowed to bring in a textbook referring to case laws?
Oh no, we were allowed to bring the akta only lah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we can bring both actually BM and English because we answered our exams both.
Yeah.
So we were allowed to bawa akta in BM and akta in English.
But nothing on case laws.
Nothing on case laws.
Aside from your studies and your academics, were you involved in anything else while you were pursuing your degree?
Well, towards the end of my degree, I think it was third year, everything was getting more stressful with the deadlines and the pressure. I ventured into sports. I never done sports in my life actually. So finally, I decided to go gym. I hit the gym in UKM. Actually, they have two gym, one for males and one for females. I hit the gym. I learned from YouTube and my sister. And I started running, and I think running is the best stress reliever because I felt really happy after that. It cleared my mind actually.
And how do you do for your degree?
I would say, Alhamdulillah, it was beyond my expectations. I'm proud of myself.
Allysya, after you graduated from UKM, the next step was chambering.
Yeah, correct.
What exactly is chambering?
for those out there, future law graduates, future law students, chambering is a 9-month period of apprenticeship under a master. So during the 9 months, you will do legal work like drafting, advocacy, sharpening your legal practice skills to make yourself prepared to be a lawyer and finally be admitted in Bar Malaysia and be called as advocate and sister.
And while you were choosing the firm that you wanted to chamber with, what were the important considerations?
Personally, for me, it was location and the allowance.
And generally, how much does a pupil get paid in Malaysia?
Generally speaking, pupils are underpaid. If you are chambering under a firm near KL, the range would be around 3.5k to 4k or maybe more. And PJ area would be, I think, 2k to 2.5k. Shah Alam would be, I think, around 1.5k to 2k. And outside of KL and Shah Alam, KL Selangor, maybe maximum would be 1,000. It's very underpaid. So recently, the Bar Council has issued a statement regarding the minimum remuneration of pupils. They stated that pupils in KL, Selangor, and Putrajaya minimum will get allowance of 1.3k, if I'm not mistaken. I think this will be implemented next year. Pupils outside of KL, Selangor, and Putrajaya 1,000, allowance of 1,000, but this will slowly increase in 3 years to 1.3k over 3 years. And I still think that is underpaid because can you imagine the work that they have to do, to take into account the time they have to contribute. Some pupils come to the office over weekends and they can barely survive with this underpaid allowance because we are not governed under the Employment Act actually. So we don't have the benefit of an employee. We don't have EPF SOCSO, annual leave or MC. We are governed under LPA, Legal Profession Act. And recently there is an amendment regarding the minimum allowance of a pupil. So I hope law firms out there pay their pupils fairly lah.
Allysya, if you could turn back time, what would you have done differently throughout your chambering?
If I could turn back time, I think I wish to be more exposed to corporate matters. Because that would be an advantage if you were to continue doing in-house rather than practicing.
Allysya, what are your future career plans?
I mean, for many, if you're already doing your chambering, your future plan is to be an advocate sister, continue practicing in the legal field. But for me, I see it as more options. There is, I mean, you don't necessarily have to become a lawyer after chambering. You can go marketing, you can be anyone you want because you have a law degree, because having a law degree opens doors, many doors to you, as long as you like it, as long as you're passionate about it. For me personally, I would continue in-house as a legal counsel, legal advisor for in-house counsel.
Finally, Allysya, can you describe your journey Lepas Sekolah in 3 words?
I would say growth, grateful, and fun. My name is Allysya Christy and this is my journey Lepas Sekolah.